What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Spin Sanity back with another Soul Sandy sneaker review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Pearl or the He Got Game Foamposites. This is the Air Foamposite Pro. This is the first Pro we've gotten in a long time, so I'm sure this will cover some things that you didn't know about the Pro. I'm going to go over the differences between the Pro and the One and go over how many times the shoe released, some things like that. Make sure you guys check out our most recent podcast with Tafari Taylor, and we do have one upcoming this week. It was just us. It was the season finale of season 5. We talk about some cool things. We got some super dope things planned for you guys, and we really get to it every week. We really try to. So make sure you check out us over at the Soul Sandy Sneaker Podcast channel down below. Give us a like, a sub, and a comment would be much appreciated. Let us know what you guys would like to see from us going forward. So, as I said, we were talking about the Nike Air Foamposite Pro in the pearl white / white black colorway. This pair did originally release in 1997, along with the Air Foamposite One. This is essentially, like, for all intents and purposes, technically almost a takedown model, but it didn't take away from any of the performance aspects of the shoe. The Foamposite was really expensive to make, which is why it retailed. Well, the Nike Foamposite One was really expensive to make, and that's why it retailed $180 in 1997. This released and for a retail price of $170 in 1997. So only a $10 difference, but a little bit less expensive to produce is what I've been told. And I'll get into some of the differences later. But this is essentially a takedown because they took off the penny logos on it, and it's a non-player specific model with that costs just a little bit less. So this pair is pretty synonymous with Ray Allen because he wore them in the film He Got Game, and that released in 1998. So the sneakers were already out before then. They released in 1997. They were worn by Tim Duncan in like a almost like a tunnel fit. I think it was a locker room. He was wearing the warm up suit, and then Scottie Pippen wore it on court. He wore a PE of this, and then the pair released, and then the movie released. And Ray Allen, or Jesus Shuttleworth, wore this pretty exclusively throughout the film. After 1997, this pair would not be seen again until 2002. That was the first retro of the He Got Game or the Pearl colorway. It did release twice in the late 2010, well, the late 2000s. 2009, Foot Locker received a House of Hoops exclusive release. Pat talks about this all the time. He said they did a midnight release of these. I believe he told me some celebrities showed up. I think maybe like Kemba Walker or something, because he was in the Charlotte House of Hoops at the time. So not only did they get a release in 2009, but it was Foot Locker House of Hoops exclusive. They did a 2010 wider release. I'm not sure how they sold either time. I would assume that the 2009s did pretty well for them to bring it back in 2010. We do get a semi-exclusive release in 2015 with a Class of 97 pack, which is bundled with the Zoom Hawk Flight, which is another shoe that came from the basketball movie He Got Game. But I don't really hear people talk about that pack very much, and we've been waiting on kind of like a true retro for these for a while. It was actually confirmed on the Nike, what is it called? It was a Nike Live event on the Sneakers app, where they confirmed that we would be getting the larger swoosh in comparison to the other Foamposite Pro retros. This swoosh is larger, and it should be pretty identical to the 1997 pair of the original Pearl Foamposite. For anybody who doesn't know, this is the original color of the Air Foamposite Pro, which is kind of interesting considering how like contrasting this is, and like it doesn't fit a team. I mean, I guess it can be worn with multiple teams. Scottie Pippen wore it with his Bulls uniform, but it's not synonymous with the team at all, pretty much. It's got white, black, and red, but I guess it was to conform to the regulations of the NBA at the time. Let's talk a little bit about the materials on these. So the official color of these is pearl white, white black, true red. Features a pearlized Foamposite molded shell made of polyurethane poured into a mold. And that's why this is so expensive, because the polyurethane mold conforms and molds to your feet over time. The more you wear them, the more it heats up and molds to your feet. So as well, we have black nubuck on the eye stays, the tongue, and the heel. Lateral black swoosh. This is specific to the Nike Air Foamposite Pro. true red accents around the swoosh and the stitching on the pull tabs and on the outside pods here. This traction is still herringbone, but it is much different. It has traction pods instead of the full traction like the Air Foamposite One. And then that we finish it off with a translucent outsole with black and rubber red pods. We do still have the carbon fiber shank plate throughout under that translucent outsole. As far as the build goes, it's very standard. You know, like I just said, one piece liquid molded polyurethane, mesh tongue, internal booty lace system. Nothing new here. Carbon fiber midfoot shank, rubber outsole, pull tabs for entry. You know, both sides here. I tried my I wore my Barkleys the other day, and they have pull tabs on both sides as well. Well, there's no pull tab on the front, but I couldn't, like, even in a 10, I went up half a size. It was almost impossible for me to get into those Barkleys the other day. Like, once I put them on, I put them on at the beginning of the day, and then I took them off at my parents' house. I put them back on, and then I went to play basketball, and I tried to put them back on. I said, yeah, no, I'm done. They're just staying off for the rest of the night. So I walked back to my car from the hoop session in my basketball shoes because I could not get those Barkleys back on my feet. It just wasn't worth it. So let me grab these out for you guys, and let's take a look. So let's talk about the differences between the Nike Air Foamposite Pro and the Nike Air Foamposite One. So as far as technology goes, it is almost identical. They both have full-length Zoom Air. They both have the carbon fiber shank plate here in the midfoot. Both feature the one-piece molded Foamposite upper, and both use the same molding process and inner booty design here with the pull tabs and everything like that. So construction-wise, these are pretty much the same sneaker. But the Foamposite One for penny, you know, features the 1 cent logo on the heel, on the tongue, and on the outsole. You know, and that's the full herringbone outsole. Then on the Foamposite Pro, we have the large Nike swoosh branding, obviously instead of the no signature athlete logos here. And then we have a Nike on the back, and it's going to say Foamposite here on this back heel tab, as well as it says Air here in this pocket right here instead of the 1 cent logo. Obviously, like I said, single translucent outsole. Nike Foamposite Pro uses the multi-pod outsole. So, you know, the I-Stay pull tab materials, lacing structure they're pretty identical. Everything else is a pretty minor change. Everything else is fairly the same. So, like I said earlier about the takedown thing, I was originally told that this model costs too much to make for them to I mean, they still did do general release of this, but for them to, they wanted to have another model. The profit margin might be slightly higher on this. Obviously, you have to pay penny for this because it has his logos on it. There's minor material differences. Wear testers, Chris over at Wear Testers said that the traction, the outsole, might have attributed to some of the cost, but I couldn't really find any information about that when I was doing my research for it. So it probably is really just the minor material differences that ended up making the large difference, and obviously them having to pay penny for all of these that were sold. You know, so you take the 1 cent branding off of it, and then it becomes generic, and the profit margins go up for Nike at that point. So this did end up, like I said, becoming a staple after the movie. Like, it was popular, but this really cemented it as the He Got Game colorway instead of just the Pearl Foamposite. So now the Pearl Foamposite, the original color of the Pearl Foamposite, has become one of the sneaker grails among Foamposites for all Foamposite lovers. So these do release this Friday, November 28th, 2025, the same day as the Black Cats. So if you want the Black Cats and the Pearls, you will be paying $240 as well as $220 for the Black Cats. So you are looking at $460 for both of these. You can get both of them, Sneakers app, Nike.com, Foot Locker, DTLR, Hibbett, and so, like, you know, Nike sportswear retailers. These shouldn't be hard to get. I honestly see these sitting. I will be looking to get a pair of these on sale whenever that does happen, because obviously the Black Cats are just unfortunately going to overshadow this. None of the foams this year have sold well. The Galaxy sold out, but obviously that was attributed to how limited it was, so that doesn't really count. Something that's funny to note, though, I do think the rest of the Foamposites this year have been 230 or 235, which is the Foamposite, and this is the first Foam Pro to come back. All of the Foamposite Ones have been 230 or 235, and the original Foamposite Pro that was originally cheaper than the one is now the first Foamposite we've gotten that was 240 at release. So it is now just as expensive or more expensive than all of the other Foamposites to release this year. I can't remember if the Galaxy was more expensive than that or not, but all of the general release pairs have been 230 or 235, and then they may have been increased afterwards. But just some contrast, from 1997 to now, 28 years later. Obviously, this one has caught up to this one in price, even though it was only a $10 price difference in general. And I always like to call out that it's been 28 years, and we've only seen a $70 price increase and a $60 price increase from these two models. Like, that's astronomically small when you think about how much Jordans cost when they came out, other Jordan retro models when they came out originally in 1985 through 1999, and even into the late 2000s, really. So before we get out of here, do I think you should buy the Nike Foamposite Pro Pearl? Here's why you should buy it. It's super durable. It's not white, so you don't have to worry about it messing up like that. But Foamposites last a really long time, and it's one of the more comfortable shoes, in my opinion. I wear Foamposites to work almost every day. If you wanted to hoop in these, you could. I don't recommend that necessarily. But this is just an overall high quality shoe and one of the best foam colorways of all time. If you're a fan of Foamposites, this is definitely a must grab. I will say you should probably wait for it to go on sale. But if you're looking to start your foam collection, I think this is also a good one. So you guys let me know what you think down below. Reasons to maybe not consider the Foamposite if you've never tried them before: they can be a little stiff. Obviously, they require a break-in, but that's the price that you're paying. You're paying for a one-to-one fit with the Foamposites. The more you wear them, the more they will become akin and one to your foot. The translucent outsoles can yellow over time. That's not something that I think really matters. And if you're not used to these, they can be a little bit on the heavier side, but I don't think any of that is a reason not to buy this shoe. This is a great sneaker, especially for those trying to get into sneakers in 2025/2026. You guys let me know what you think. That's really all I got for you guys today. Let me know if you guys will be grabbing a pair of the Pearl Foamposites on Friday, or if you're going to wait for them to go on sale, or if you're not interested in foams at all. Let me know either way. I've heard a lot of people saying, why are foams even coming back? I'm excited for them. The Pine Green also is set to release this year. I don't know what the release date on that one is either, but that will be another Foamposite Pro that I will be looking to add to my collection at a reasonable price point of under $240. So you guys let me know what you guys think about these down below. And this was another sneaker review from your boy Spence. I will see you out on another video. Peace.